Bruce Sweyd was many things. He was a son, he was a brother, a husband, a father, a grandfather. He was a soldier, an attorney, business executive that helped grow really successful businesses, New York Seltzer and Emergency. He was many things to many people. But to me, he was my friend. I loved Bruce. I respected and admired him. He was a man of core principles. I mean, he was a man of conviction, of principles, and integrity. I didn't always agree with Bruce on a lot of political issues. We had many heated discussions about a variety of topics. He would attack the issues we were discussing with a lion's ferocity. He would jump on those things. But not me. Never me. It was always about issues. It was not about personal. It was about his commitment to his beliefs and what his principles were. He lived every single day by what he believed in. I respected him for that. Bruce was a man of great integrity. He was always the same with everyone. I never knew Bruce to wear masks, treat someone differently than someone else. He was one guy with everyone. He was the shining example of what it means to have integrity. For me, Bruce was always supportive. He believed in me as well as others, not just me, but he was a great supporter. When I had left a company that I had put my heart and soul in for 5 years, Bruce was one of the first people to call me. He was there. He said to me, if you need anything, just ask. He was opening up his home to me, and he meant it. And I knew I could rely on him for what he said. Bruce loved his children, Courtney, Ben, Austin, and Mark. He always was so proud of them and amazed at the work and the things that they did, just on a whole other level. You could hear the excitement in his voice when he spoke of them. Bruce, he always loved to tell stories, and he had a great laugh. The dude was always also cold. He was always cold. But, he would wear coats. It was 90 degrees outside, and he was always cold. But Bruce loved to tell stories, and I wish I could remember more of them. I remember him telling me about taking guitar lessons as a kid from Ernie Ball. He lived most of his life in California. I don't think he lived outside of the state until later in his life, but he was always telling great stories about his experiences here in California. And he would tell great stories about his time at New York Seltzer Water and the circus and just the chaos that ensued there. Bruce, he loved to smoke. He was always smoking, and I used to tell him, you should get active, you should exercise, go for a jog. And I remember he said to me, you and my friend, I can't remember the other person's name that he was talking about. He said, you're both runners, and you both always complain about your joints, your muscles are sore, your knees hurt. And me, I get up with no problem. My knees don't hurt. I got no problems. And then, with a big smile. He just had a great laugh. The laugh of his was just amazing. It was always, when something funny would happen, it was always Bruce. And I loved that about him. He just had kind of a joy in everything that he was and everything that he did. Bruce and Angela joined a church group that Sandy and I had. And shortly after, he was calling me as pastor. And I was like, hey, don't look to me for your spiritual guidance. I'll do the best I can. I'll impart to you any wisdom that I have after having read the book, but don't look to me for that. But shortly after that, he honored me. He asked me to officiate at Angela and his wedding. And it was truly one of the greatest honors of my life. To be so intimately involved in the most sacred commitment between two people who love each other. It humbles me that he asked me and he thought of me in such a way to be involved in that. It was truly, truly one of the greatest things in my life. Bruce was a great man. He believed in others. He was always there for others. He was a brilliant guy. And I will miss him.